Do the universities there provide the students to change their course in between?
The students in New Zealand have an option of changing provided there is a strong enough reason. We've had instances where students got an admission successfully into the masters, but landed there and realized that that level of studies was a little beyond their capabilities, so they kind of stepped down. So by and large, changing within the university is an easier process. If you're intending to change from one university and move to another institution, you're normally allowed to do that only within the first week after you've landed in New Zealand. But again, the instance is not very high. The counseling team at Array does a good job of working with the student and ensuring that they're certain about what they're choosing. So it's not a very big issue. But if somebody has got a genuine reason why they want to change, the government doesn't stop. Bear in mind, they may lose one semester fees though. So, that's something you'll have to take in your stride. Yeah.
Can you tell us what, according to you, could be the various causes for rejection of visa?
Okay, this is one of the most important things about New Zealand. You've all heard about, we have all heard about stories about how people prepare for months and years together, and then they go for a visa interview, and even as they're walking up, you kind of, they say, even as you're walking up, the visa officer decided he's not going to give me a visa. Now, for New Zealand, that is never going to be the case. The New Zealand government or the immigration department has a particular process where a visa application sent by, we are an accredited agency. Array is an accredited agency by the Education New Zealand organization. So by virtue of being accredited, immigration department also works closely with us. And once an application goes from us, they know it's all been taken care of. Okay. But they will never summarily reject an application even if they have a doubt. They cannot just outright say, sorry, your visa is declined, and put a stamp and send it back. If the visa officer has got a doubt or any concern with that application, he has to write a letter to us saying, I have a concern with this particular application. I am not happy with his academic background or his funds or some other issues. We are then given the opportunity of answering that question, and only then a decision is made. Even in an instance where a decision is made which is adverse, we can still fight it out. We can still take it to the next authority, and it's all very transparent. And by virtue of being an accredited agency, we have access to the topmost officer of the immigration department. And where we sincerely and passionately believe that an application is genuine, but the visa officer is not looking at in the right perspective, we take up the fight. And having said that, we have about a 98% success rate, and the 2% sometimes is because the visa officers sometimes tend to make a telephonic interview, and sometimes the students are not in the right frame of mind or environment. Somebody may be inside a movie theater watching a movie when the visa officer calls for an interview, so they're rushing out and trying to answer it. So it's not a conducive environment to be answering a serious interview. And that can put a doubt in the visa officer's mind, saying, hey, this guy doesn't know what he is planning to do, and they may reject it. So, but by and large, they're successful. The other reasons why you may get rejected is for health reasons. If they find they detect something in the medical test, they will send it to Wellington to be looked at by an expert, so it can be rejected on a health ground. We had an interesting rejection for a PhD application where they said that the proposed research, I think it was in physics, they said the proposed research will lead to development and deployment of weapons of mass destruction. So that was like, oh, where did that come from? But it was rejected because, and New Zealand is a nuclear-free, very peaceful country, so they did not want any research that would lead to development of weapons of mass destruction, so it was rejected. So by and large, they're not rejected outright, but they can be summarized.